Now, somehow, some way, I've been able to come out here and spin around for almost 2 hours, two until the sun absolutely kissed the end of this horizon, very, very literally. And that is something. I haven't been able to do that. I don't think that I was ever able to do that in the days of throwing because something was always rushed. There was always a lift, or I was trying to get there before the cafeteria closed or something. There was always something. And yes, it's very, very nice to be able to actually spend some time and to be in the weather and not be in a rush. And when I get tired, I can sit down, get my breath, take a breather, and then get right back to it. And that's I gotta be very, very appreciative of that. I can do the analysis for a days and an hour or whatever on some of these throws, but it really comes down to, it really comes down to some simple but yet complicated concept. You see these lines that we're going down today, and I've noticed, and after I did my initial look at a lot of these, was not holding and going down the middle sector of this line of these lines. And if you look at any good throw, any probably 60-70 meter guy, there is a track, and they track straight down that middle of the sector, and that is what you would commonly refer to as holding the middle. And any thrower that's done it's been successful, they're very, very familiar with that concept. And that is something that I am neglecting for whatever reason or another. And how we ended up here, and I took over 30 throws yesterday, and I was able to actually took close to 40 throws. I've never taken that many actually, so put in a lot of good reps. But even looking at those throws I took yesterday compared to today, a little bit better on it, but that was a major concept. And for whatever reason, I believe that I'm seeing the deterioration on it, on numbers 3 and on turns number 3 and 4, because I don't think that I'm being patient enough on number 1, and that's almost setting me. And then not making sure that I'm going down the middle of the sector like I should be. So that's sort of setting me up for failure. And I'm going to have to make sure that I pay a lot more attention to detail with that. But I am going to remember to, and regardless of the place that I throw, I am going to pick a line and I'm going to throw down it, because I can clearly see, you can see black and white clear as day, if you're doing it right or not. And you should be tracking, and it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but it should be pretty daggum close to going straight down that line. It's just the efficient way to throw. When you're right and left and cutting turns too short, and you're going this way and that way, it's just not efficient. That's just the bottom line about it. Was trying not to turn on and I didn't beat myself up about it too much today, but I watched some other throwers today, and I looked at their shoes or whatever, and I'm just kind of wondering to myself, how did I end up with that bad habit too as well, turning on the side of your foot like that? So I don't know if the two things, me not being patient enough on some of the turns, me cutting the turns short, maybe it's an ankle mobility. I doubt that it's an ankle mobility thing. But I do think that I need to be very, very intentional about how I'm turning on the first couple turns. And you can see, yes, you can definitely tell on some of these throws, you're just not doing it. And I've tried to slow things down the best that as much as possible, probably the first 5 or 10 throws, and there's a gradual speed up as I progress to try to accelerate the ball. But I'm really, really relaxed when I'm coming in here during the throws. But what I've noticed, and I don't know if anybody else pays attention to Olympic lifters, and they have a really, really good example of this. When they are lifting lightly, their movement is still the same, even though the weight is lighter. Their movements are very efficient. You can see what they're visually doing, or what they would do when the weight gets heavier. You can see that they meet the bar instead of crashing at the bottom of the at the bottom of a clean or a snatch. They try to meet with it and then carry it down, because a lot of the time these guys could power all the way probably up until, I don't know, probably 60-70% of their maxes. A lot of the time, probably even more than that. Probably they can probably power position, catching a power position, what they're doing, but they still, you can see that they practice good technique on their warm-ups. So and the same thing with this, even though I'm taking a low intensity throw with some of these, or I'm trying to be as low in as intensity as possible, it should still all look the same. And that's something that I'm working on. I'm aware of it enough, at least, and all I can do is try to hammer away at it very, very literally, but kind of annoying, because, and that's, I think, is the root of all evil. I think when it comes to throwing and wanting to throw, I think a lot of the times when you want to get after one, and it doesn't matter, shot put, discus, hammer, or javelin, or whatever it is, one tends to want to get out of pocket and get out of line of what they normally do, to try to do too much, and never normally doesn't work out most of the time, if we're being 100% honest about it. So that's one, it's a lot easier said than done, but something definitely to think about. I keep on sectoring left, and I was thinking last week that those could be my better throws, but those could be just wasted. Now that I'm looking at it and I'm looking at where they're landing, I almost think that it's wasted energy, and it's just going in the wrong direction in general, because if those throws are down the sector, and if the energy displacement is what it is going in the correct direction, they theoretically should be better throws, but they're going way left. And I think that, like I said, back to the original point, I think that that's because I'm not holding myself accountable to go down the center of this ring the best that I can. So took a lot of throws. I actually took a total of 37 throws. That's a lot of throws, and I could tell that I was getting fatigued going down the stretch here. But that's, I mean, hell, if I can get them in, then you kind of got to get them in. You know what I'm saying? That's a nice thing to be able to do here and there. I need to try to focus on what I need to do as far as, and I've done it as best that I can. I've been sticking to the body weight squats, and I've seen some of these older guys do a lot of different types of explosiveness as far as box jumps goes. I've seen hurdle jumps, I've seen bleacher jumps, I've seen all these explosive kind of plyometric movements that I've seen these older throwers doing. And I think that they could be definitely very, very beneficial to me, but I'm going to have to figure out with what I have currently, how to work that all in. That's not an exact, and you can only do, and the biggest thing that I'm realizing with this, and especially because I took the volume of throws that I took, you can only get so much done in one day, and I feel like I did. The last couple days, the last days I've been doing this, I feel like I've been doing everything that I've been doing as much as I can every single day, or what have you. But I mean, I go outside, I throw, I come back, I get myself a little bit of food, and day's shot. Seems like days over with. So what can you do? Maybe I need to schedule a little bit better, be a little bit more detailed about what I want to accomplish every single day. But I'm not. The main goal is getting accomplished at the end of the day when I'm taking these good amount of throws, and because that's what it takes taking the throws. It takes taking a lot of the throws. I'm noticing that I probably need to, and I'm running into a situation where, especially today, I'm drinking coffee, and then I'm going to throwing, and I'm not eating anything. I don't think that that's a good idea. I do not think that that's a good idea. I think that I need something on my. I think the coffee is good and all, kind of keeps you focused, kind of keeps you dialed in, and can kind of help you jack some up, if you know what I mean. But no, just in general, it's good. But no, I definitely need a little bit more food going into my system than what I'm doing, and not a lot. But I was also running a lot at the beginning of this kind of cycle, and I'm kind of cutting back on that. I think I'm going to work in some sprints here and there, but the running the long distances, obviously, right? I was running, I don't know, a mile here, a couple miles here, 5K here. I was doing that sort of thing, and I'm realizing now if I want to do this, kind of you gotta pick your battles, old son. You can't be trying to do everything, and that's been a hard lesson for me. And you have to stick to one thing long enough to see your result. I really do love running compared to a lot of other people, compared to a lot of other throwers that they'll say that they hate doing cardio or hate running or whatever. I actually enjoy it, and I was actually trying to see how low I could get my 1K time down at one point in time, but I'm not going to get too focused on that. I'm 100% all in on sort of the throwing thing. I mean, the cardio, nothing is wrong with some cardiovascular endurance here and there, but it needs to be tempered, and I need to make sure that when I am doing that I am replacing the calories with good calories and making sure that I'm eating, because there's no secret to it, right? There's no secret to this game in the sense of force equals mass times acceleration. That's the very, very simple mathematical formula. It's not going anywhere. It exists for a reason. It's force equals mass times acceleration. So the more mass you have, or acceleration, whichever one, and I think that I tend to hang on the acceleration fact because I'm a smaller guy. In throwing terms, because I'm not 6 foot tall or what have you. I'm not 6 foot plus or what have you. But yes, I tend to hang on the acceleration, but make sure I'm not losing on the mass part too, because that can screw you. That can definitely screw you. So, and I weighed myself a day or two ago, and I kind of was like, that's not where we're, and it's not too low, but that's not where we're normally at. So it's been done so many different ways. There's so many guys, and especially if you pay attention to D2 or what a D3, I mean, there's so many shapes and sizes that it's been done at. But to be, to be, there's a difference in being good and being really good, obviously. And really good, well, you probably need, it wouldn't hurt to make sure that you got what you need, got on your ass, got what you need behind you. So overall, they're definitely better than yesterday. One of the biggest points that I picked up on, and I don't know why I didn't, I wasted 30 damn throws yesterday realizing this, but was not engaging my core at all. Noticed myself down the stretch here. I was breathing and I was engaging my abs. Oh my God, night and day better. It's really amazing how much of a difference that makes when you engage your core and you lock in into and it helps you with the entry and helps you with the rest of the throw too. And you lock in with your breathing is what I was about to say. Those two things, wow, can't believe it. Night and day. So put that in my notes. I want to make sure that I pay attention to that, because that was a big one. Especially with the lower intensity throws when I was going with a lot less energy. I noticed immediately when I was able to get the core a little bit more active and make sure that I'm also making sure that I'm rotating the ball all the way in, and it forces me to activate different muscles, obviously, when I'm going slower like that I was able to put together better low intensity throws. So got some good lifts on these. Not too frustrated with that. I mean, hey, one thing at a time, right? I can't. Rome was not built all in 2 seconds. So got done. Pretty good amount. Hopefully I can keep on. I can be within this rep range. This is a good rep range. That's over what I thought, what I have done, what I even wanted to achieve. So, but I'm being able to make the time to be able to do it. So I just have to continue to be able to make the time to do it and relax and enjoy it, because who doesn't want to be outside throwing the hand? Well, a lot of people don't, but me, this is love and happiness. You know what I'm saying? But that's just all I got. You already know what the deal is. Run on your toes, keep your mouth closed, lock your doors, and save your throws. Most importantly, you live to fight another day. I'm gonna get out of here.